The OBG brought to you by
H.C. Henderson Esquire.
Okay, so some people, they create a prison in their minds, a prison where the inmate is also the warden, and the sentence is a lifetime of exhaustion. And this is what vindictiveness brings. Now, we see these people everywhere, even, like staring back at us in the mirror sometimes, okay? And it takes some training not to be that way. And these people are always kind of cool tight, ready to recount the great wrongs done to them. And their eyes, have a tired, haunted look, like life's been siphoning the joy out of them for years. And then they'll tell you with absolute conviction that it's everybody else's fault. Now, there's only one truth here, and that's that the anger that they're clinging to, that grudge that they're polishing like a weapon, it isn't harming their enemies, it's poisoning them and them alone. So if you think of your body like a chemistry set, every time you replay that old argument, every time you stoke the fire of a year-old betrayal or someone that you just can't forgive, you trigger a toxic cocktail of stress hormones. Cortisol is the main one. It floods your system. Adrenaline primes you for a fight that's already over. Your heart rate climbs, your blood pressure ticks and speeds at, a phenomenal rate, and your sleep becomes fractured and thin. These are the common kind of symptoms. And the same old cries from young, healthy bodies, I hear them all the time. I only slept for a few hours last night. My back hurts, my head hurts, everything hurts. Now, study after study, from places and reputable bodies, they draw exactly the same results. Chronic anger is linked to inflammation, a weaker immune system, and a higher risk of heart disease. You're literally physically maintaining a state of mind so you can marinate in your own bitterness. And the person you're obsessing over, they've likely forgotten it, long gone. They're out living their life. They're sat at home, watching telly, eating dinner. They're laughing with their friends, completely unaware of the real estate that you occupy that they occupy in your head. Now, you're the one stuck in a loop, playing a broken record of a song, that nobody's really listening to. And the data doesn't lie. Well, it depends who's working it, basically. But, psychological research consistently shows that holding on to anger is one of the strongest predictors of lower life satisfaction. Vindictive people report higher levels of anxiety and depression. And this act of rumination, that compulsive mental chewing on past hurts, actively makes stress worse. Meanwhile, the science of forgiveness, which show the opposite, it says that letting go measurably improves both mental and physical health. And it's not soft of people to do that, it's strategic. Now, I'm led to believe that envy is the root of all of this. If you look closely at people exhibiting these traits, then you'll see a pattern. The most resentful people are very often the ones who feel that they've achieved the least. They feel overlooked, undervalued, and left behind. The rage isn't really about you. You're just a mirror reflecting a version of. You're just a mirror reflecting a version of themselves back at them, and they can't stand it. They're not really angry at you. They're angry. They're angry through you. You represent what they haven't done, the life that they haven't built. And there's so much research on social comparison, and it backs this up. Studies show that people who frequently feel envy are more likely to act out with spite. And this envy doesn't motivate them to build their own table. It convinces them that they're entitled to sit at yours. And if they can have it, they'd rather see the whole table turned over than see you enjoy yourself. And it's a cycle of self-sabotage. The more that they fixate on what others have, the less energy they have to create anything for themselves. And vindictiveness is a trap. And when people are being vindictive, the door isn't locked by the person who wronged them. The door's locked on the inside. And they could easily choose to walk out at any time. They could focus on their own work, their own growth, their own garden, if you will. And they could do much better and feel better and sleep better. And honestly, the research shows live longer. But that would require a courageous, painful and profoundly necessary thing, which is taking full responsibility for their own happiness. But they won't. A lot of people would rather be a victim than be victorious, because victory requires work and victimhood only requires a story. It's not fair. I hear it so often. If you're holding on to bitterness and you're hugging on to that anger like it's the last thing you own, you aren't winning. You're slowly erasing yourself. Let it go. Not for them, but for yourself. Drop the weight that you've been carrying for someone who isn't even watching you struggle. Let go so you can finally get on with the magnificent, difficult and beautiful work of your own life. Because I'll tell you this for nothing, okay? The world isn't pausing. Nobody's going to stand still. Nobody else is waiting around for you to decide when you're ready to catch up. I am the OBJ.
I listen to the OBG.